Oh, hello, I'm on the beautiful bus. This is a wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation. I am the Dark Maverick. And welcome, finally, welcome to part 3 of what Izuku was Sephiroth. Last time, basically, I do indeed, but oh shit, my OCD. Damn it. Ah. Last time we left off, it was Izuku and Magni. They were basically heading towards the yakuza hideout. The old man, Eri, and Kaichisaki, also known as Overhaul, are. So, well, like this is happening about the same time that the whole Camino Ward thing is happening. You know, with All for One versus All Might. Second time around. So yeah, around the same time as the whole Camino Ward thing is happening is whenever this is happening. So yeah. So while everybody else is doing that, they're doing this. Basically, yeah, because the members recognize the power of Sephiroth. And so they bring them to their leader. And Izuku also realizes someone else. Someone with a sort of a plug doctor mask. The old man, he says that that person is Kaichisaki. And basically, Izuku's like, hey, what about the girl with the horn on her head? And the old man says that that's his granddaughter, Eri. And Izuku's just like, oh, ain't that interesting? What a small world we live in. What a truly small world. May I have a word with you, Kai Chisaki, for a moment? Alone? And even though that most of the people, if not all of the people, aren't really sure why Izuku wants to have a word alone with Chisaki, basically, just from looking into this man's eyes, Izuku knows what his plan is. He knows what he plans to use Aries' quirk for. And let's just say, safe to say, hmm, that basically Izuku's like, I got this. Chisaki, don't you worry about a thing. And Kai Chisaki just like, hey, is that a Stevie Wonder reference? And Sephiroth is just, basically, Izuku and Sephiroth is just like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who cares? Anyways, I have some things to do. So, if you don't mind me, and Izuku just teleports, and Kaijisaki is like, wait, what the hell? And basically, there's the old man. The old man is like, uh, I've found your records, and I don't think you can stay here. It would be very bad for us if people found out that you were staying with us. Because, you know, the old man is the guy who, like, runs the yakuza. And so, he's, like, looking out for his team. Like, it wouldn't be too good for us if they found out that you were with us. So, you can't even stay here. That's what he's trying to say. And Izuku does not like that. So he's just like, okay, now I'm settled. You gotta go. And the old man's like, what do you... And he would just realize he got a sword through the chest. Now, Izuku is not hesitant to kill at all in this. He completely merged with Sephiroth. So, I think by now, killing is just going to be a thing that he does. And so, he feels little to no remorse in killing the old man. Especially since he was told that basically the equivalent to being kicked out. And then he's like, are you sure that was a good idea? And he's like, my little magnet, please, don't be so paranoid. I have this all under control. And just like, fire. Just burns the body to like ashes. And he's just like, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Now, fire! And just sets the ashes on fire, basically completely destroying everything on a molecular level. So, yeah, basically double fire. And, well, after that display, Kaijisaki is like, good, now the old man's out of the picture. Finally do what I've been wanting to do. And Izuku's like, nah. You wait a second here, mister. I only got rid of the old man because he's gonna kick us out. Now he's gone. The person who whacked him is gone. Is gonna be the one in charge. You know, whacking somebody, killing them. Since Izuku was the one who killed him, and this Izuku is the one in charge. And he says he's going to turn the yakuza into something a lot more than what it currently is now, without having to harm poor little Eri here. He sees that look in Kaichisaki's eyes. He sees that look. He doesn't like it. So unless, Chisaki wants to change his tune, he can get the hell out. And basically, Chisaki tries to use his quirk on Izuku, but that doesn't really work pan out all that well. Whenever basically he can teleport, and the next second, he has sword to your throat. And he's like, you want to try that again, buddy? And like, Saki's like, no. He's like, please don't kill me. So Saki's allowed to live, but only on the conditions that he doesn't try to pull that shit that he was planning on pulling. So, yeah. The only reason that Izuku killed the old man is because basically he wasn't going to let them stay. Out of freaking fear. Izuku has no fear, because why would he have fear? He is Sephiroth in a world of these quirkless noobs. So, yeah. They all know him as such. They all know him as the one-winged angel, Sephiroth. And, well, Izuku says he wouldn't have it any other way. So, yeah. And as for whenever the Yakuza raid happens, because of the whole thing, like, whenever they eventually figure out about the Yakuza whole thing, like, pro Euros and shit, like Night. Well, whenever it comes time for the Yakuza raid, well, let's just say the Yakuza are a lot more ready. And, able to defend themselves than in can. So, like, Night and a couple people, like, are coming over there to, like, raid the whole Yakuza thing. And if you're wondering about Eri, Izuku, even though he did kill the old man, he still has a heart. So he would make sure Eri was treated like any child should be treated, with love and care. Even if that meant that he had to pretty much claim Eri as his own. He was okay with doing that. After all, he's pretty sure that even he is not immortal, like, in terms of, like, aging. So eventually, he would pass on his power of the mana system and the life stream to whoever was he felt a suitable heir. And if if Aries like the only one around, like, okay, he's definitely not gonna trust Saki with that power. Hell no. Oh hell no. He'd sooner trust a log. Is the way he's telling Magni. He'd sooner trust a log than trust Kaisaki with that kind of power. However, it is yet to be seen any sign of Izuku slowing down, so we're pretty sure that he's not going to die anytime soon. Oh, and as for the raid, it's unsuccessful, and I think you guys know why. Because Sephiroth. Yeah. Let's just say our one-winged angel boy over here. He has a bone to pick with the heroes. He doesn't quite like them. But whenever he does hear about the fact that All Might is no longer doing hero work, and that All for One was defeated, basically after All Might defeated All for One, he decided to retire. And now All for One is in Tartarus. So just hearing that, it's like he's just thinking, well, at least Mr. Funny Hair's good for something. And Night Eye's like, what did you just call? And like, Izuku was just like, I called him Funny Hair. Really? Do you expect anything more or less from me? I mean, I don't exactly like either the League of Villains or you pro heroes. I don't like either of you, so go figure. And that just pisses Night Eye off. To the point where it kind of gets, like, scary. Like, this dude can see into the future. However, what Night Eye is seeing whenever he sees the future, he's seeing himself dead. And Night Eye's like, well, but that can't be. And he's just like, maybe if you spent less time talking and more time fighting, then you wouldn't have those type of premonitions. He just sliced him straight through. And so now I would just be like, it's like dying. Yes, he would have just now killed Night Eye. Because he does not care. He basically tells some Yakuza members, like, clean this shit up and find a way to dispose of the body. I'm tired of using my fire magic. Why don't you guys pick up the slack for once? So the Yakuza members do as they're told. And, well, seeing as Night Eye is basically dead, the heroes fall back. They basically get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of Dodge. Like, this is not something that they wanted. And so... basically, before they actually did away with the actual body, Izuku would want to be looking through some of Sarada's things, and in one of his things he would find out the hospital that All Might was taken to. You know, because of the fact of his injury, how it's only seemed to be getting worse, even if he had a successor. Like, he just seems to be really, really in the shits. And not in the giggles. So, Izuku's like, oh, this is nice. And so, basically, Jisaki, you make sure that Magni and Eri are safe while I'm gone. And as for the rest of you, well, I expect a report. An honest one at that. Anyone who tries to lie to me, I'll know. Ta-ta. And so, basically, Izuku makes it to hospital, even makes it to the hospital room without being detected, because he decided to go stealth mode and shit. So he finally makes it to All Might's hospital room, and All Might not really being able to see all that well because it's kind of dark. He's like, Night Eye, is that you? Where's Mirio? I was going to give you something. My last embers of... And then Izuku just turns on the light. And then I'll, like, basically, like, All Might is just like, oh, what the? It's you. And Izuku's just like, yeah, it's me. So, before you die, I just want to let you know that it may not have been a fun ride for you, or your F-buddy all for one, but it was sure a fun ride for me. Still is going to be after you're gone. Yeah, he basically just not only killed Sir Night-Eye, but he just killed freaking All Might. With the Murasama alone. Needing nothing else. So, yeah. Mm, mm. There would be one last place that Izuku would have to visit, so he would make a little call saying that he found something else he needed to do, and so he was going to be a little late for his return. And so basically this next place being Tartarus. He decided he wasn't going to let All For One suffer on his own. He was going to kill him personally. And so he basically gives him the same treatment as All Might. But this time just sickening because All For One's really effed up. He got screwed over. And then Izuku just splitting him down the middle. Like an All For One kebab. And so basically whenever he returns with the heads of the number one hero, symbol of peace, and the number one villain, just in general, to add to his collection. The start of his collection being Sir Night-Eye's head. Yes, he'd be keeping heads in little liquid tank things make them as trophies to preserve like the image of the heads so he knows which one's which. Izuku is just that freaking hardcore. He just has an entire room in the yakuza base dedicated to people that he's freaking murdered and he feels deserve to go down in history as part of his trophy collection. Yeah, so he'd be splitting heads, y'all. He'd be splitting heads. He would just check two names off a list. And the names would be All Might and All For One. Yes, he has a list of people he wants to do this to. And you damn well sure he's gonna check it twice. He may not be Santa Claus, but you damn well sure he's gonna check that thing twice. No, that is not a pun on the villain twice. It's basically, as everything is right now, people are living pretty good lives. I mean, Chisaki may not be the one who's in control here, but he's still at least glad that he's allowed to live. And Magni likes Eri, and Eri likes Magni. It's kind of like a mother-daughter relationship. And Eri likes Izuku, Izuku likes Eri. Kind of like a father-daughter relationship. Just imagine that Sephiroth Deku as Eri's father. That's freaking hardcore as hell. So yeah, about that. And I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. Sorry if this was a little bit underwhelming, but you know, certain times I'm gonna have more juice in me than other times for certain things. Certain times you just have days where you have less juice. This is that creative juices. So you also gotta let it flow. You gotta give it time to flow. So yeah. Sorry if this wasn't like what you guys were expecting from this series so far, but this is the best that I felt I could currently do. So yeah. Basically, all I'm doing analysis because Dark Shadow Maverick is LUT out of here. Your boys. Like, favorite, subscribe, something in the comment section. And I'm a bounce.